going to go over assignment 36, and that is adding two vectors 3 plus 3 6 different ways. First we're going to use the parallelogram, law of parallelogram, then we're going to use the law of cosine, law of sine, distance formula, trigonometry. Let's draw x and y axis. This is x, this is y. I'm going to draw it a few times. Okay, that's all. Okay, so now let's put the vector, let's call it x and y. Let's put the vector, let's call it vector A. This is 3 Newton, let's call it Newton force, and which is 30 degree above the x-axis. And the vector B is also 3 Newton but 90 degree above the x-axis. Now the next thing we're going to do head and tail. So let's do the head and tail. This is the vector B and this is the vector A. This is head and tail. Has only one component, and that is the y component, and that is 3. The bx doesn't exist, is 0. However, the red one has two components, the ax component and then ay component. We can quickly find the ax and ay by drawing it over here. So if this is 30, this must be also 30, then this must be also 30, then this must be 60, and this must be 90. This is 30, 60, 90, so opposite is 2x, and this one is the side opposite to the second biggest angle is x root 3. The side opposite to the smallest angle is of course x. Alright, so what do we know about 2x? This is 2x is 3, so 2x is 3, so x must be 1.5. That means this one is ax is 1.5 square root of 3, so ax must be 2.6. So ax must be 2.6. This is x is 1.5, so ay must be 1.5, so ay must be 1.5. So far so good. Now what are we going to do? We're going to draw the by, and by is 3. We're going to add it with ay. Ay is of course 1.5, and this is ax. Ax is of course 2.6. Alright, now can draw the resultant. This is also the resultant. If you move this red vector ax over here, and if you move this red vector ay over here, that would be okay. That would not be a problem, ay and ax. Okay, you remove it over here and you move it over here and you move it over here without changing any direction. So far so good. Now we're going to use the parallelogram, law of parallelogram. So but before we do that, we just want to draw it in parallelogram, because this is, we have head and tail. This is what we have. This is your head and this is your tail. This is head and tail. So we have, I'm going to draw head and tail again. So this is x, this is y, this is your b vector, this is your a vector, this is your resultant. This is head entail. I'm going to draw it in parallelogram. So parallelogram would be, you draw A vector, you draw B vector, you draw another copy of B vector, you draw another copy of A vector, and this is the one called a resultant, and this is by the law of, this is parallelogram. And now we're going to solve this problem by law of parallelogram. So the law of parallelogram would be r squared is equal to a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cosine r. So this is the r, that's what we are looking for. Okay, so r squared is a squared. Of course we know the a squared is 3 squared plus b squared is 3 squared plus 2, 3 cosine. Now this is the r. Okay, this is the r. We need the angle of this one. We need the angle of this one, all right? Angle of this one. We know the angle of this. This is 30. This one and this one are not the same. This is the A vector. This is the resultant. So from the black one to the red one is 30, but from the black one to the resultant is not 30. Let's see how it is. Okay, so what do we know? We know this one is 30. We know this one is 30. Okay, we know this one is 30. So we know that this one is 30. If this one is 30, this one is 60. Then this one must be 60. So we're going to put 60 over here. So r squared is 9 plus 9 plus so r squared is 27, r is 5.2. This is how you can find that a plus b is how much? 5.2. And the angle is 60 degree. Angle is 60 degree. We're going to find the angle different ways. So let's do the trigonometry now. Let's do the geometry. So geometry. All right. So you should see an isosceles triangle. Where do you see an isosceles triangle? Let's see. Let's come over here. If you do come over here, you see this is 30, okay, and this is 90, right? So what I'm talking about, the ax, here it is, ay, here it is. You don't need that. You have b, which is 3, you have a, which is 3, you have resultant. That makes it an isosceles triangle. Take it, put it here nicely. You can put B blue, A red, A in red, and then R in black. So it matches with everything you did before. B blue, A red, and R black. The blue you already know. Okay, so few things. This is C, so big C, this is a small c, this is big A, this is small a, this is big B, this is small b. A you know 3, B you know 3, that makes it isosceles, both sides of them are same. And C you know, C what is it? Right here. This is 30, this is 90, so must be 120. Alright, we know almost everything. Then this must be 30, this must be 30 because the two sides are the same. Okay, good. We now gonna use, this is the geometry, and by geometry you can find the C. Okay, you already found it. Okay. So you can and then now we're going to use the trigonometry. So trigonometry is easy. So vector A, vector B, AX, AY, BX, BY, 3 cosine 30, 3 sine 30, 3 cosine 90, 3 sine 90. This is 3 cosine 30 would be 2.6, this is 1.5, this is 0, this is of course 3. 2.6 plus 0 is 2.6, 1.5 plus 3 is 4.5. R square is equal to A square plus B square. So R is equal to square root of 2.6 square plus 4.5 square, and that gives you 5.2 Newton again. Now I'm going to show you the SOHCAHTOA. So let's do the SOHCAHTOA over here to find the angle. SOHCAHTOA. Sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Now if I give you two right angle triangle and I call it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, understand that this is hypotenuse, this is hypotenuse, or you can call it R, you can call it R, or you can call it even C. That's fixed. Now which one is the opposite? Okay, if I put an angle, then this is opposite. If I put an angle over here, then this is opposite. Okay, this is opposite, and this is adjacent. Okay, if I put an angle over here, then this is adjacent. Okay, now you know how to find the three sides of an angle. Alright, now we're going to use the tangent to find the theta, opposite over adjacent. Okay, now let's see our angle is this one. Okay, we want to find this angle, theta. Okay, if we look at this way, this is opposite. Opposite is often called y. And the adjacent is this one because this is close to the theta. This is called x. So what is our y? Our y is, of course, 4.5. What is our x? 2.6. So theta is tangent inverse 4.5, 2.6. So theta is, of course, 60 degree because the geometry gave us 60 degree. Now I'm going to show you law of sine, and then law of cosine, and then distance formula. So law of sine is sine A over A is equal to sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. This has to be big. The uppercase represent angles, the lowercase represents side. An angle has, right angle triangle has 3 angles and 3 sides. Okay. As you see, we have an isosceles. I by mistake I erased the isosceles. Let's draw it again. So the blue is okay. So now let's make the convention. This is big C, this is small c, this is big A, this is small a, this is big B, this is small b. B we know, B is blue, 3. The A is red, also 3. This one we know 120, this one must be 30, this one must be 30. It seems like we want to find this guy. So we're going to use 2 of the ratio. Sine A over A is equal to sine C over C. So sine A, what is sine A? Sine 30 over A 3 is equal to sine C. What is sine C? Sine 120 and C is we're trying to find. So sine 30 is 0.5 over 3 is equal to sine 120 is 0.87 over C. C 0.5 is equal to 3 0.87. So C is equal to 3 0.87 divided by 0.5. So C is equal to 5.2. And again we got 5.2 as our answer, and that is law of sine. Now we're going to do law of cosine. Law of cosine. To do the law of cosine, what we're going to do, there are 3. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared plus minus 2AB cosine C. A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine C cosine A. B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B. Which one you want to use? Let's say you want to use the third one. If you do want to use the third one, make a correction. Call it B and call it small b. And call it C and call it small c. It doesn't matter. You can change the variable and you're still going to get the same answer. Alright, so it seems like we are looking for b. Okay, so b squared is equal to, this is at the last one, I'm using this one. A is okay, so we need a. So then call this one, this is C, this is B, this is A. Call this one A. Alright, so we have A, B, C, A, B, C. This is B, this is B, this is A, this is A, this is, okay, that's good. A is 3 squared plus C is 3 squared minus 2, 3 cosine B 120. Alright, so B squared is equal to 9 plus 9 minus 18 minus 0.5. So B squared is 27 and B is 5.2. And law of cosine tell us that it is nothing but 5.2. We're going to use the distance formula now. The distance formula, you only use 2 points. The point over here is 0, 0, and the point over here is of course 2.6, 4.5. 2 points. So the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So is x2 of course 2.6 minus 0 squared plus y2 is 4.5 minus 0 squared. So d is 2.6 squared plus 4.5 squared. So d is 5.2. Again and again, it gives us 5.2. Now I'm going to go over the exit slip. In the exit slip, I ask you to walk 10 kilometers. So this is your x and y. I ask you to walk 10 kilometers this way, 10 kilometers, and 5 kilometers this way. I want you to find the resultant. So this is your resultant, and what is the resultant? The resultant is square root of 10 squared plus 5 squared. And I also wanted to find you the angle, this angle. So the angle is tangent inverse, of course, y 5 over x 10. That's it. So finally, I asked you to do one more problem, and the problem number 2 in the exit slip. I gave you the resultant 100, and I gave you one of the vector 40, and I wanted to find the vector b. Alright, so let's say vector b is x. You are trying to find. I gave you a few options. I didn't give you any angle. I give you a few options. One is 40, 80, and 150. So here's what you're going to do. Scenario 1, you're going to try 20. 20, which one could be b? Is this one is b? Or this one is b? Or this one is b? This one is b. You want to test it. Okay? Alright, remember 5 plus 5 can give you two things, 10 or 0. Okay? Then you're going to write 0, if this one called x, 0 and 10. Okay? Now, if the answer choice 1, 2, 3, 4 is say 8, 11, minus 2 and 15, then which one is the answer? Of course, only answer is 8, because 8 falls here, 11 falls here, minus 2 falls here, and 15 falls here. So you get that. So scenario 1 would be 40 plus 20 is equal to 60. 40 minus 20 is equal to 20. Let's draw the number line. 20 and 60. 100 falls here. No, 100 is, I'm going to make it, I'm going to call it x. This one is alright, I'm going to call this one, I'm going to just call b, and this one I'm going to call x. So x is now right here, so this is not answer. Number 2, 40 plus 40 is 80. 40 minus 40 is 0, so 0 and 80. It seems like the x is still over here, no good. Scenario 4, 150 plus 40, 190, and 150 minus 40 is 1110, so 1110 and 190. Resultant is here, no good. Scenario possibility 3, 80 plus 40 is 120, 80 minus 40 is 120. Alright, so 40. So 40 and 120, of course 100 is right here. 100 is right here. So yeah, of course this is the answer. And this is how you can find the answer when there is no angle given.